Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Welcome, everyone. This is Mary Scott. A huge welcome to the Richness of Our Lives podcast today. Have a very special guest from Alberta, Canada, Marzia Hakimi. Previously resided in Afghanistan as an assistant professor at the University of Herat there in Afghanistan, is a passionate advocate for women's education. So a round of applause. If you're sitting at home, don't move, because this is a very potent podcast and you'll want to stay till the end. Marzia, hello to you and welcome. Thank you for giving up your time today.
Thanks so much. And I'm going to start with saying hello to your audience. And I really appreciate your kindness to have me in your or in your room. Thanks so much. And yes, I'm here to talk to and great conversation to others.
It's lovely. It's our privilege to have you. Marzia, where will we start? At the moment, you are pursuing a PhD at Alberta University in Canada, but it didn't all start there, did it? Can we wind the clock back to Afghanistan when you were there? Assistant professor, tell us about what you were doing. What were you studying? Who were you teaching?
Okay. My name is Marzia Hakimi, and I was a assistant professor at Herat University for 11 years. And my major and my passion is teaching, and I'm into teaching to any level, especially students who are studying at the university. And I was assistant professor in engineering faculty in Mechatronics Department. So although my major was not exactly mechatronics, but I was teaching some of the courses, some of the subject in mechanical engineering that's aligned my major, that were all those courses align my majors. And I really passionately interested in teaching. So I can tell you the best moment that I had when I was at the university, and I engaged some of the activity with my students. And I really love to work with the young generation, like students, or freshmen, or any students. And you, on the one hand, you are teaching them, on the other hand, you're learning over and over from them. And I was teaching in many courses in mechatronics, and we had some of the mechatronics exhibitions or anything like this. All next to my academic activity at the university, I was a gender representative at gender committee, and I was a representative at gender committee and at my faculty. So that was I think very interesting to have both work at the university and parallel to that working for empower women. And so we did many things for girl and female instructor at the university.
So tell us more about the gender role that you were facilitating. And it's a very important and powerful, what should I say? Well, you're such a powerful advocate for women and girls and education. But tell us more about that gender committee role. What were you doing? What was the purpose of it?
Yes. For Afghan women and girls, gender-based discrimination is not an event. It's a lifetime sentence, I can tell you. As an assistant professor in my department or in my faculty at engineering faculty at Herat University. I was denied opportunities simply because of my gender. And I really, I can tell you, when I was a professor at the university, I think that was for 2011. I was rejected twice for a position of head of department and once for dean of faculty, solely because of my gender at the university. So these experiences were I think disheartening for me, but instead of letting them define me, I choose to channel my frustration into building myself up. So I made up my mind to work on gender committee and to empower women and girls who were suffering like me from gender discrimination. So that's a kind of embarked me to start my activity to empower women and girls, so I could focus on my job at the university and to empower women and girls. So I can tell you at that time we didn't have any washroom or any kindergarten for female students and female instructors. So I strive to find any like fund to build this, and we did something like this to or build some of the facilities for female and girl students at the university. And also we had some of the workshops and also female mechatronics exhibitions to showcasing their activities as a female, because for mostly I can tell you in all over the world, engineering students are male, and so especially for Afghanistan as a traditional society, we try to show yes, we have many female students who will be engineers in the future. And so we had activities like this to empower female and girl students at my faculty, and we did something like these activities.
That's absolutely awesome. And tell me, has it always been like that in Afghanistan, for if you're a female that you'd be rejected for major professional roles? Well, any roles really. Has that always been the case, or was there a time when it changed?
In mostly part of like any officially like administrative offices in Afghanistan, we have been facing many like challenges like this just because of our gender. But the things that is I think the situation are getting worse day by day, because in Afghanistan, female, I think, is not determined as a gender. And so in some cases they knew, yes, they are female, and yes, they have right to learn, they have right to work. But in some cases, no, they just rejected them, or they are rejecting them because just their gender. And gender, I think, is not any like new issue in Afghanistan, or gender discrimination, I can tell you. But when the rejection of my twice I think position, I think stimulated me to start my work as a gender representative and an advocate to empower education advocator. And so that is not any like new issue that women who are in Afghanistan are facing.
I understand. Okay. And let me just clarify what I think you said. Did you say that was no facilities for women at the university, bathrooms, etc. for women?
Exactly. We didn't have any like this. And a student, I think, imagine you are at the university for at least half of a day, and you need, because we are human, we need to go to the washroom. At my faculty, we had, I think, just one washroom among our 14 faculties, and that was very crowded, and you have to like walk many farther from my faculty. But for my faculty, no, we didn't have any washroom or anything like
Goodness. How did that impact the morale of women students, women like professional women like yourself? Or was that just one of those things that you were used of?
You know, because when any I think any female gender, when they are born in Afghanistan, traditionally they are growing, they are raising with this thought: the women have some of like half or many less than rights rather than male. So female students, female instructors, they, I think, they accepted their right is less than or less than men. So although then nothing, any like washroom or anything like this at the like administrative place like university is so difficult, it's too difficult beyond my imagination, but they accepted, yes, we are female and our right is, I think, are less than men. So but mostly my I think my years that I grow was I think outside of Afghanistan. And when I came back to Afghanistan to teach the girl students and something like this, I faced very, I think, difficult situation that we don't have any like washroom in my faculty. Oh my God, that is very difficult. And I didn't accept that. And then when I was rejected, oh my God, no, it's not acceptable. It's not fair. You are rejected because of your gender, although you distinguish very like many qualification. You have many qualification, but you are rejected. And I remembered one of my colleagues when I was candidate for that, and he told me, oh my God, a lady is our leader. No, no, I can't accept that. And the day that a lady will be our leader or our head of department or our dean of faculty, the day that we were gonna die.
Oh,
and
really?
we are not accepted. Yes, unfortunately.
Yes, well, I think it's good for our audience to know, wherever they reside in the world, if they think they've got it hard as a woman pursuing leadership roles, dean of faculty, my goodness, you know, that you're not even considered a gender. And I think it's a good reality check for us around the world, isn't it? The first word that comes to me is gratitude. I have so much gratitude to be able to pursue professional careers and things around the world. Well, I shouldn't say around the world. There's other countries that struggle in the same way. So you were an assistant professor for 11 years.
Yes.
And then you really seemed to take on, after these rejections of major roles, this strong advocacy about women. And tell us how you got to come to be in Canada. Can you talk about that journey to there? What caused you to move to Canada?
Yes. Before answering this question, I'm gonna tell you, because on September I organized the rally to like raise awareness about yes, Afghanistan is the only country in the world the women and female I think, have been deprived of educational and occupational opportunities. So we organized, by help of two other ladies, we organized the rally, and I just told the audience once one expression, and that was this: imagine waking up to find that your children, especially your daughters, are no longer allowed to attend school. The right to work has been stripped away, and freedom to speak or express yourself is silenced. You cannot even step outside without male guardian. What might seem like an unimaginable nightmare to many, but is a harsh reality for every single days, especially these days. So after the Taliban took power, I just felt like very miserable. And then I remembered I just stared one point for many minutes, and I was shocked. What's happened? And I don't know what to do. As an active member of gender committee, because the Taliban are looking after anybody who is active in human rights or education advocacy or something like this. Based on my background, I was very stressful, and I just Google it. I asked your audience about put in my shoes at that time and
what
imagine.
year was that, Marzia? Sorry to interrupt you. What
No,
year was that when it was impacted on you that, wow, this is how it is now? What year would that have been?
You mean about the time or about the
Yes. What year was it? Do you remember?
Oh, yes, the time was August 2021, and the time that the government was fallen and everything was happened about suddenly and drastically. I just shocked. Oh my God, what happened? And I don't know what to do. So I just Googled it, and I found a Scholar Rescue Fund, and that organization is supporting the scholars or any researchers, professors, or any kind of scholars who are doing some of the activities in their back home, and they are at risk of that, or they are threatening by the regime or something like this. So I just Google it, and I found two organizations. The first one is a Scholar Rescue Fund, and the second one is Scholars at Risk. So I just apply for their program, and they have some of the program or fellowship to support the person like me. And then I just sent all the documents that they ask in their website. So I just fill out all some of the forms and show some of the evidence about my activities at the university. And I really can tell you, I don't forget the day that I've received an email from both organizations. And they told me, oh, congratulations, we are thrilling to you to have this great message. That's a kind of, not as a lottery, but as a huge, I think, for me, the huge success things that I've achieved so far. And so I've got the confirmation letter about the accepting by 3 universities in Canada. The first one was University of Alberta, the second one University of Calgary, and the third one University of Toronto. But the University of Alberta was very, I think, fast to expedite my visa application, Canadian visa or something like this. So that's why I came to Canada in 2022.
That must have been so heartening. And the word I had, Marzi, was liberating. You must have felt liberated to be acknowledged not only by one university, but 3 in Canada. All kudos to you. So tell us what happened next.
And then when I faced many challenges during the flight because I have twins, and by the time my twins were under 2, and I had very challenges during the flight. I think my flight took 24 hours. And so when I was in like Montreal to Vancouver, the flight attendant, I think the flight, all things were happened to fly, and then the like airplane that sound like and it started to move, but again stop, and all the flight attendants came to me and asked me, "Oh, I'm so sorry, you have to leave the flight because you have twins under 2, and for each twins you have to accompany by like adult, and you are alone, so you can't fly, and then you can leave the flight." So that was very, because mostly they were in Montreal, people who live in Montreal, they are speaking French, and I don't know French. I blocked my ears and I couldn't hear anything. So just, I do believe the angel at any time, because you are thinking your goal is good. And I think one of the passengers came to me and asked me, if would you mind, I can sit next to you and I can take care of one of your twins, because he understood the situation for me as a newcomer to new country. And the time was 6 p.m. at November. Everywhere is dark, and I didn't realize what to do at that time. If I had like gone off the flight, I don't know where can I go.
Oh my God. So there you go, the kindness of strangers. But
exactly.
how did you get to that flight in the first place?
For the first place, just I've asked some of the travel agency about this issue and this problem. Mostly the travel agency, they have some of like this solution to buy one seat, because for the kids, for the like baby, not baby, just the kids under 2, they don't need to sit. They can sit down on the mother's lap. And then, but the one strategy to solve this problem, the travel agency told me, you can like buy a seat for one of the twins. The problem has been solved. So we buy a seat for one of the twins, even though the flight attendant told me, no, the rule is the rule. This is what it is, and you have to follow the rules.
But before that, how did you actually leave Afghanistan? That was the next part of the journey, was it not? That flight?
No, just because I came from Afghanistan to Iran, but not as a flight, with some of like we have land board.
Oh, so you drove
yes,
to
by the
Iran.
taxi or drive or anything like this. But by the time women also were banned from traveling lonely without a male guardian. So I had also challenges in the board. And when the Taliban's officer told me, oh, you're alone, you can't travel. Go back and accompany your husband, and then you can travel.
This is at the border. This is at the border. Here are you.
Yes.
You've got twins under 2. They're still babies, right?
Yes.
And so they say, no, you can't cross to Iran. Is that what you said?
Yes,
And
exactly. But the reason was not because of the babies under 2 and they are accompanied by the guardian, by the adult. The reason was because female lonely without, they cannot travel. They
That's right.
have to accompany by male guardian. So, but I had some of the medical document for my daughter, and I explained to the Taliban's officer about the, yes, I have to go to Iran to do some of the medical services for my daughter. My daughter has had some of the medical issue, and so that's why after like a kind of negotiation, the Taliban's officer told me, go out. And then I don't know, go out, it means I have to like authorization to go in the cross the border, or I have to go back. And just he told me, oh, go out, go out. And then I made up my mind. When I just go out the door, I went to the border to across the Iran, and he didn't tell me anything. And then I went out to or left my country and then came to Iran.
How did you feel, Marzia? You're there on your own with two little children. How did that feel? So you just drove, trusting.
Yes,
and
yes.
there was no one from behind telling you to come back. How did you feel?
I was very, I can tell you at one moment, my heart, when I stopped, like moving, I don't know what happened. And I could hear my heart voice, because I had a very stress and I don't know, oh my God, he told me, go out. It means go out to cross the border, or go back to the, in Afghanistan. And I had very stressful situation, and I had a kind of I think my head was kind of exploded at that time. But I told myself, because I'm used to talking to myself in this, like it's the situation like this. And then I told myself, be strong. You have to take care of your kids, and you are their responsible. So you are in charge of taking care of your kids. Don't treat as a weak person. You have to be strong. And then I just go, and I just went out of the Taliban's officer and made up my mind to go the way that is true to Iran. And then he didn't tell me anything, and I just thought like, oh, I made it. Yes.
I felt myself then holding my breath. I know this story, but I was like, oh my gosh. And I can't imagine how that would have felt. And then you finally get on a plane, and then you have this challenge about taking two children on your own. Oh my gosh. And then this gentleman, came and helped you.
Exactly.
And then, it's such a gorgeous story. I wanted people to know the backstory, because it's all part of your story and where you're at today. So you're on the plane, finally, you've got some support. Then what happened?
Exactly. Because my husband came to Canada 6 months before I came, and he was visiting scholars at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver. He was in Vancouver when I just met my husband, just told him, please take care of kids, because I didn't sleep for 24 hours. And I had a very stressful situation before the flight, during the flight. And yes, just I can tell you that when I came to Canada, I just received any message from the university, or welcome to the University of Alberta, or something like this. I think I had told very warm welcoming to me and my family. I I think it inspired me to start my new journey. And I didn't forget my student left behind. So that's why I made up my mind to start my work education advocator. And so after coming to the university, I started my 2 jobs as a volunteer to empower women and girls in Afghanistan.
Such a great story so far. And now you are teaching women in Afghanistan. Tell us about that. And you're a volunteer. There's no money.
Yes. Yes.
Voluntary position. So tell
Yes.
us what you're doing and how many women and girls are you helping at the moment?
I'm working as a volunteer in 2 positions. The first one at the online woman university. The university is, I think, is initiated in 2022 at the end of 2022, and it's officially started at 2023. And I'm teaching the girl students in engineering faculty again. And the university has 14 faculties.
Did you say 40?
14. 14,
Wow.
1 4. Yes,
Oh,
14 faculties. Yes, 14 faculties. And the students who are studying in this university, I think, are about 40,000 girl students who have been deprived of educational opportunities in Afghanistan, and mostly they are in Afghanistan, and some of them are in Pakistan who are banned from the education due to they don't have any officially document, and their status are not allowed to education or study. So I'm teaching girl students in this university in engineering faculty, mostly 3 times a week, because the time difference between my time and day, I think I have to set my time at early morning, about 5 a.m. or something like this.
And how do they manage? Obviously, it's virtual through Zoom or something, but
Yes.
how do the women and girls manage to connect with you, given their constraints and they're prohibited? How does that happen?
The university asked the students who are teaching or who are studying there, they have asked about don't talk about the university with your neighbors, your family, or something like this. They are connecting by the internet by Google Meet, and we have sessions by Google Meet. And by thanks of my supervisor at the University of Alberta, because I had collaborating with my supervisor and my supervisor's friend at one of the courses at the University of Alberta, and he lent me the vacuum, and I can write any things that I'm teaching to the girls, because mostly engineering subject you have to write.
Yes.
And you have to solve the problem, and you have to write and something like this. So that's why it would be better to have vacuum. And I have the vacuum from the University of Alberta connected to my laptop, and then I can teach the girl students any in-person classes that I have.
Oh my goodness. So you do this 3 times a week, and how many students do you for this coming year, how many students have you?
In my class, especially courses that I'm teaching, the calculus, that's a kind of mathematics for engineering students. They are about 50 students.
Wow.
Yes, they are in my class. And for other, because that is generally in whole part of the world, students who are studying in engineering are less than the other faculty or other majors. But we have, I think, because my sister also is teaching the girl students, and she is also in Ottawa, in Canada, and her students, I think, are about 150 or more than, because they are studying in medical science. But in engineering, the numbers are less than the other majors. And yes, and also I'm working with Canadian Women for Women in Afghanistan's organization is focusing on raise awareness. And also we have, I can tell you because I'm a part of them, and we have some of the platform for high school students and many volunteers around the world, not from Canada. They are teaching the girl students who are in Afghanistan beyond the grade 6, I think.
So this is an organization in Canada for Afghanistan women and
Yes.
and their education. Is that what you said? And then
Yes.
now you're saying also for other women around the world in a similar situation?
Yes, that's why they changed the name from Canadian Women for Women in Afghanistan to Right to Learn Afghanistan, because that is not just for Canadian women. The people around the world are supporting the platform and organizations' activities. So that's why they changed the primary name was Canadian Women for Women in Afghanistan, and their activity, I think they started 25 years ago.
Wow, really?
Yes,
That's
yes,
amazing. How wonderful.
yes.
So how many people is your organization helping? How many women are you supporting currently in that organization? What's the numbers?
Yes, there are many students. I think the range of them is about more than 1,000 students, but I'm not sure about the exact number, because in my job as a Edmonton group, not as a like doing some of the platform or directing this platform. In our group, we are just doing or organizing some of the events to raise awareness, or we have some of the fundraising, or in any small, even though it's small, like one word market, we presented like as a representative of Right to Learn Afghanistan's organization, and we try to like raise awareness, and in some cases fundraising to support Afghan women and girls, to provide some of the smartphone, internet package, laptop, or something like this to help them to study.
Oh, that's magnificent. And here you are. It's just a wonderful thing. And, you know, even if it's 1,000, even if it's 10, you're making a big difference. And all of this is voluntary. So what we'll do is we will make sure there's a link so people can search your organization out and donate appropriately to help you. I'm sure our listeners would love to support you. So tell me, let's move on to today. You're in Alberta, Canada, your family, your husband, you're all there together. What's life like for you at the moment?
Everything is okay for me, although sometimes I feel like I miss my students, I miss my university, I miss my back home, but I'm grateful for the opportunities that I have, and I can help them and I can support them in many situations, like teaching, helping to providing some of the like financial support of them. But as an immigrant, I think it's common, every immigrant for because even though they have some of the plan to travel, but in my case, I didn't have any plan to travel. So I was at my home, and then might be 1 month or in next month, 1 month, I traveled. So I'm, as an immigrant, I'm facing some of the challenges, but I'm learning again, and I'm just raising my, I think, awareness about everything. I'm in a new place. I have to learn from their culture, their like place or anything that they have. And but the sense that I can tell you that I have this at this moment, I'm really grateful. I'm really happy, and I hope I can help, like, not just as a Afghan women, anybody who are around the world and they can't have like access to education. And we, by our activities, like empower of others, we can teach my next generation. As my kid, my younger kid, when every morning after the last moments of my class, when I just talking to my students and say bye or something like this, or ask them about if they have some of the problem, and my younger kids, and they they wake up to like go to their school, and he asked me, oh, what are the reason you are waking up early and just start your teaching? What's your mission to
What's your
do this?
mission? How old
Yes,
is he?
mission.
How old is
Yes,
he?
yes. 9.
And he's asking you what's your mission. Oh, that's
Yes,
wonderful.
to do these great opportunities, even though you are not getting paid. And and I've told him, we are human and we have to help other humans to make a difference and to make a world as a better place to live. So that's why I think it's a small activities inspired him to like build or create his YouTube channel. And even, yes, he's learning a piano, and also he put some of the like video record. He's recording some of the video to teach the piano that he had learned about in his class. Yes.
That is absolutely amazing. And I'm sure it's the modeling from yourself and your husband that's inspired a 9-year-old to have
Yes.
that. I think that's just wonderful, teaching the piano. My goodness me. Well, Marzia, I think that let's end with something. What would you say to our listeners is the one thing that has kept you on your path? What's been driving you all this time?
I think thinking about my about the humans, about the female, about the all, because we are human and we should think to others, and thinking about the others human who are in a difficult situation inspired me to do some of those activities and advocacy, education advocacy, because I do believe that education is not a privilege, is universal for all the body, regardless their gender, regardless their financial level, and regardless their family, their type of their skin, their ethnic and anything. And education is universal. And I'm trying my best to raise awareness about this. You have to learn in any age, any level, and any ethnic.
Oh, I think that's absolutely correct. We all have the right. We have the right to learn and to educate everyone, no matter where they live, where they're from. And you are such a strong advocate I thank you so much for giving up your time. And I just wanted to say, you talk about education. You've picked up your PhD, haven't you? And that's what you're doing. So your testament, you're actually still learning and educating yourself while you're teaching others. That's a beautiful, beautiful example to your beliefs and your values. And I thank you so much for your time, your beautiful smile. And I wish you and your family just so much abundance and so much success there in Alberta, Canada. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and thanks you to your audience to listen our conversation. I really enjoyed, and thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be in your program.
Thank you.
This week's episode has come to an end, but the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.